They called him Air Jordan, the man who could fly. But behind the dunks, the championships, and the fame was a story of struggle, obsession, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. This is the legend of Michael Jordan, the rise, rule, and legacy of the GOAT, a name that echoes beyond the court. In the world of sports, few names command the kind of universal respect, awe, and admiration that Michael Jordan's does. To some, he is the greatest basketball player of all time, the GOAT, whose 6 NBA championships with the Chicago Bulls forever redefined excellence. To others, he is a cultural icon, a businessman, and a figure whose brand outlives his playing career. But beneath the trophies, the endorsement deals, and the highlight reels, Jordan's story is about more than just basketball. It is about resilience, discipline, failure, obsession, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. His journey is not a straight line of triumphs. It is a narrative built on setbacks that turned into stepping stones. To tell his story is to tell the tale of how one man became larger than the sport itself and inspired millions across the globe. Humble beginnings in North Carolina. Michael Jeffrey Jordan was born on February 17, 1963, in Brooklyn, New York, to James and Dolores Jordan. His parents soon moved the family to Wilmington, North Carolina, where Jordan grew up in a close-knit household alongside his 4 siblings. From a young age, Michael's parents instilled in him values of hard work, humility, and resilience. His father, James, worked as a maintenance worker, while his mother, Dolores, was a bank teller. Their discipline and example shaped the young boy's character. Jordan was not born a star athlete. In fact, his earliest brush with organized basketball was marked by disappointment. As a sophomore in high school, he famously failed to make the varsity basketball team. The rejection cut deep, but instead of giving in to despair, Jordan treated it as fuel. He spent countless hours practicing his jump shot, improving his conditioning, and sharpening his competitive edge. The very setback that could have discouraged him became the fire that ignited his determination. By the following year, he not only made the varsity team, but also dominated on the court. It was during these years that Jordan began to glimpse the heights he might reach if he stayed committed. The shot that announced a star. After high school, Jordan accepted a scholarship to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, where he played under the legendary coach Dean Smith. At UNC, Jordan honed his fundamentals, discipline, and basketball IQ. His defining moment came in the 1982 NCAA championship game against Georgetown. As a freshman, Jordan hit the game-winning jump shot that sealed the title for North Carolina. That one shot announced his arrival on the national stage. But Jordan's college career was not just about one moment. He quickly developed into one of the nation's top players, winning the Naismith College Player of the Year award in 1984. His decision to leave college early and declare for the NBA draft was bold, but fitting for a player whose ambition matched his ability. When the Chicago Bulls selected him 3rd overall in the 1984 draft, the franchise gained not just a talented young guard, but a future cornerstone whose impact would stretch far beyond the game. The rookie who brought hope, the Chicago Bulls of the early 1980s were far from a powerhouse. The team struggled to find an identity and rarely made noise in the playoffs. Jordan's arrival changed everything almost overnight. In his rookie season, he averaged 28.2 points per game, dazzled fans with high-flying dunks, and electrified arenas with his flair. His energy was contagious, and for the first time in years, Bulls fans believed in their team again. Jordan's rookie performance earned him the NBA Rookie of the Year award, and it was clear that the league had a new superstar. Yet, what set Jordan apart was not just his numbers, it was his style. He played with a mix of elegance and aggression, a player who seemed to defy gravity. His dunks, his mid-range jumpers, and his fearless drives to the basket made him must-see television. By the mid-1980s, Jordan was already becoming a household name, even though team success was still out of reach. Building the legend through painful losses, while Jordan's individual brilliance was undeniable, his early years in the NBA were marked by playoff disappointments. The Bulls repeatedly fell short against stronger, more experienced teams, especially the Detroit Pistons, known as the Bad Boys. Their physical style of play targeted Jordan directly, roughing him up and testing his endurance. For 3 consecutive years, the Pistons eliminated the Bulls from the playoffs, leaving Jordan frustrated but determined. Instead of folding, Jordan responded by getting stronger, physically and mentally. He hit the weight room, improved his defensive skills, and developed a level of mental toughness that would define his career. These losses, painful as they were, forged the iron will that made him unstoppable in the years to come. As Jordan later admitted, "I've failed over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed." The first three-peat. By the 1990-91 season, the Chicago Bulls, under coach Phil Jackson, had built a balanced roster around Jordan. Scottie Pippen had developed into a star in his own right. Horace Grant provided inside presence, and the triangle offense gave Jordan more freedom to thrive. The result was domination. In 1991, Jordan led the Bulls to their first NBA championship, defeating the Los Angeles Lakers and Magic Johnson in the finals. The victory was more than a trophy. It was the passing of the torch. Jordan had officially arrived as the face of the league. The Bulls went on to win 2 more championships in 1992 and 1993, completing their first three-peat. Jordan was unstoppable during this period, winning league MVPs and finals MVPs, cementing his reputation as the best player in the world. His competitiveness was legendary. Teammates described his practices as brutal, where Jordan pushed everyone to their limits. For him, excellence was not optional, it was the standard. Tragedy and an unexpected retirement. Just as Jordan seemed untouchable, tragedy struck. In July 1993, Jordan's father, James Jordan Sr., was murdered in North Carolina. The devastating loss shook him to his core. His father had been his mentor, his supporter, and his closest friend. The grief overwhelmed him, and in October of that year, Jordan stunned the sports world by announcing his retirement from basketball. Seeking solace and honoring his father's love for baseball, Jordan signed with the Chicago White Sox organization and played minor league baseball. His baseball career was short-lived and often criticized, but it revealed a side of Jordan that fans rarely saw: his vulnerability. For the first time, the man who seemed larger than life reminded the world that he was human. "I'm back." The return and the second three-peat. In March 1995, after nearly 2 years away, Jordan made a simple but earth-shaking announcement: "I'm back." Those 2 words sent shockwaves through the basketball world. Jordan returned to the Bulls, wearing the number 45 jersey, and while he was initially rusty, it didn't take long for him to reclaim his dominance. From 1996 to 1998, Jordan and the Bulls delivered one of the most dominant runs in sports history. With the addition of Dennis Rodman, the Bulls became nearly unbeatable. In 1996, they posted a then-record 72 wins in a season, capped off by another championship. Jordan led them to titles again in 1997 and 1998, securing his second three-peat. His game-winning shot over the Utah Jazz in the 1998 Finals became one of the most iconic moments in NBA history, the perfect exclamation point to a legendary career. Legacy beyond the game. Jordan officially retired for the second time in 1999, though he would later make a brief return with the Washington Wizards from 2001 to 2003. While his Wizards stint lacked the glory of his Bulls days, it showed his love for the game. Yet, by then, Jordan's legend was already secure. His impact went far beyond basketball. The Air Jordan sneaker line revolutionized sports marketing, creating a cultural phenomenon that still thrives today. His competitiveness and brand of excellence set the standard for athletes across all sports. His influence extended to music, fashion, business, and global culture. Even today, young players measure themselves against him, and debates over the GOAT inevitably circle back to his name. Lessons from a legend. Michael Jordan's story is not just a sports biography. It is a roadmap for anyone striving for greatness. From being cut from his high school team to becoming the most dominant player in the NBA, his journey shows that setbacks can fuel success. His mantra of discipline, obsession with improvement, and refusal to accept mediocrity are lessons that apply far beyond basketball courts. Jordan himself summed it up best: "I can accept failure. Everyone fails at something. But I can't accept not trying." The eternal flight. Even now, years after his retirement, Michael Jordan's silhouette, leaping through the air, arm outstretched, tongue out, remains one of the most iconic images in sports history. He was not perfect, and his competitiveness sometimes made him polarizing. But it was precisely that relentless pursuit of perfection that made him who he was. Jordan didn't just play basketball, he elevated it. He didn't just win championships, he built a legacy that transcends time. He is more than a player, more than a brand, more than a story. He is a legend, forever remembered as the man who taught us all that greatness is earned, not given.